Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami Mahadeva Mudam Shirasa Namami Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami.
Etat jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyata. The Gita makes it very clear this is indeed jnanam. Jnanam here jnayate anena antakaranena. A person who is endowed in good measure a disposition revealed by these words. Is not something you have to count. People say that you have to follow these qualities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are describing, you are revealing through words a person with a certain disposition. Disposition means attitudes, condition. So inner condition. So where is your heart? Where is your what kind of attitude do you have? What are your priorities? What is it that doesn't disturb you? More than that, what is it that disturbs you? That disturbs you. So that means where we need to grow. The world is outside. It's like a supermarket. It's all spread out before you. It includes mosquitoes and bacteria, virus, not visible, visible enemies, not visible enemies, and lot of good things also. So there are lot of things. Some of them you have to go for, some of them just drishya. You see the stars. They don't seem to play an important role in your daily life. But really, in life itself they play a role. If they are not there, then this universal temperature will go down. Now we are talking about global temperature increasing. Mother Earth atmosphere has increased warmth now. 4 degrees by 4 degrees, and the Himalayan glaciers are receding. And the Ganga is not going to be perennial. Wait 6 years, 6 to 40 years, if the problem is not addressed, you will have a river bed. When the rains come, some water will come. Otherwise, they will put kutiyas there. So that's a situation. 4 degrees. Do you know why? Our motor vehicle, transport and everything. So you can't avoid. But one thing I came to know by reading the report published by the United Nations. The report is the amount of methane released by the cows and the sheep that are slaughtered every day. Millions and millions for food. And they are bred also. And these all is a farm. Like you grow cucumber in a farm, pumpkins, some 1 million pumpkins. You see them. And similarly they grow cows and they grow sheep like this alone. And they are slaughtered every day, billions of animals, and they are every day they are slaughtered. Because whole world eats them. It's food. Like your katrikai. Like aloo, like potato. So how many tons of potatoes we are eating? And these animals are eaten. Japan eats, China eats, Indonesia eats, Vietnam eats, and Malaysia eats, and everybody, Burma eats, Europe eats, Arab eats and eats, and then Arab countries, and then Europe eats, North America eats, South America eats, Australia eats, and supplies also are. Everybody eats. Only in India there are some people who don't eat. By birth they don't eat. Communities, not by choice. They remain vegetarian, continue to remain vegetarian, not being influenced by all these people. That's a big thing. And that too, they will continue to be vegetarians. In between, they were driven to Buhari Hotel. They tried. Then afterwards they found, no, it's no good. So they had tried. Because they thought they were missing out something. And so they went to all these Buhari hotels and all that, and chow, they have done this. They were born vegetarians. They grew up as vegetarians because parents were vegetarians, grandparents were vegetarians, and grew up as vegetarians and gave up for some time vegetarians, occasional non-vegetarians. I call them Buhari Brahmins. There is one fellow. So he's after me. And these Buhari Brahmins. Then afterwards they remain Brahmins, occasionally. They were broad-minded Brahmins. Where you should be broad-minded, you must know. Not eating this dead animal. What is the bigness here? An animal that was killed for you to eat. This is what you are eating. And therefore, I say, when they point out this, that what the United Nations UN report is, that these animals and their digestive system being what it is, it goes on releasing these methane gases. And they have more power to increase the temperature of the atmosphere than all these emissions, CO2, released by the transport system. More. Therefore, there is a solution. Don't eat meat. There is a solution. I am appealing to people now. Cut them red meat. And you can reverse the whole thing. That's a hope, really. It is possible. That's a hope. Otherwise, all the icebergs are melting. Then this water inundation is going to be a problem unless they address it. The only way we can address is this. Then we have to get all our cars at least electric. So what it will produce, we don't know. There must be some method of running. So this is too much. You can't create glaciers. Gone. Because the whole thing will change afterwards. The Himalayas will be Himalayas afterwards. Okay, this is the current thinking. Very naya thinking. We have to campaign for it. So we have to write, we have to talk, we have to say wherever you do, you keep talking and you keep writing and then make people aware, then something happens. That's what we need to do. And you yourself change. Individually, people should change. And talk about it and think about it. Therefore, the disposition of the person who can gain this knowledge is big enough. What disturbs you what doesn't disturb you. The world is there as it is. There are things which are very conducive. There are things that are not very conducive, like a fly which is after me. But that's how the setup is. So you objectively deal with it, without allowing yourself to be overwhelmed. But you need to do what is to be done, for which there should be space inside, leisure inside, which accounts for compassion, love, sharing. That cannot be ushered in as coexistent factors with the tendency to grab, a tendency to keep, a tendency to not to share, fear of losing control, vulnerability. So these are all things that cannot coexist with compassion, space, and take things as they come without being vulnerable. Very big. One person wrote a book in which he said, a psychologist who came to India, and he said, the sadhus are sane people. He had not really met all the sadhus, okay? So he said, the sadhus are sane people. sannyasis of India are sane people. He really met some people. Sane people, he said. Then I understood. I have not completely read the book, I have seen the book. And I understand it because they don't have a tomorrow problem. Tomorrow means tomorrow. Or tomorrow. So they don't have a tomorrow problem. That's what sannyasa is. And therefore they live every day, that is sanity. So you, without things, you are not vulnerable. Without things, people will become vulnerable. Without home, without lot of things that you have, without bank balance, without this, without that, people become vulnerable, insecure and vulnerable. And the Swami is one who doesn't feel vulnerable even though doesn't have anything. That he's a sane person. Sane because he's objective. So he takes things as they come, as they go, and does what is to be done. So this implies a disposition. Only that person is the person to be with infrastructure, to know, to see irrational arguments. That is not negotiable. So people need to have the infrastructure that makes one possible to see fallacies in arguments. That capacity is a very important capacity. Because there are areas where you have to have Shraddha, you just accept the areas. There are areas which you accept in faith, in trust, in good faith. But there are areas which are to be understood. So what is to be understood is believed, and what is to be believed is questioned. This is where our confusion lies. The human mind is really is lost in this kind of questioning what is to be accepted in good faith and swallowing what is to be understood thoroughly. I find this especially in this spiritual world. It is religious world, spiritual world, this is what is happening. Where you need to know, you swallow. Where you have to believe, you question. What will I be? Will I be born after death, will I be born, reborn? Now, why should you not be reborn? And what is the certainty about it? All right, you won't be reborn. Make it now itself. But it is nice to know that there is another chance. Yeah, that's good. Accept it. How can I accept it? How can you accept it? How did you accept your marriage? How did you accept your marriage? Without knowing the person. See, in India I can cite all these examples. Without knowing the person, you got married. There is no dating or anything. Horoscopes date in astrologer's house. And so, without dating, without knowing the other person, you got married. How? By just accepting. That's exactly. That is what acceptance is. Shraddha. Okay. So that means you believe that I will be born again. I don't like born again. You will be born. You will be born. You will be born. But I am not sure about this one thing. One will be born, you would to know. Now you don't say you. One will be born, but what kind of incarnation that will be? A human body? Or it's a crap? How do we know? How do we know? You will be born. But finally, there will be one more chance. May not be in this cycle of creation, next cycle. But you will be born. Until then you solve this problem, this will never stop. It's a belief, but it is not a wild belief. It is something that is understandable, acceptable. Nothing comes to an end. Nothing comes to an end. Matter always remains in one form or the other. No quantum of energy can be totally decimated. It is always in one form or the other. The food has got energy. By your energy, you take it, then you get energy, and then you talk, and it is distributed. And then what happens to that energy? It's all heats up the whole atmosphere. It is there. It's always there. It's energy. It's always one form or the other. No energy is decimated, destroyed. So, matter cannot be destroyed. Energy cannot be destroyed. If there is a conscious being in this matter energy vesture, the body mind sense complex, if there is a conscious being, there is a conscious being. And this conscious being, why should it get destroyed? Until otherwise proved. I don't think the fly went inside. No. And so, because I can't talk afterwards. So I have to Ramachandra. So this, I can't even think about it. Some people pick up all these things, sometimes when the raids come, the moths, they all come in hundreds and they all make them like Rice Krispies. But they fry them and eat them, and then otherwise take these vitamins and others, they do that. Rice Krispies. That's why. In all this, they just take. They remove the wings and then they separate it. Live they take also. You can't say, well, the people have got different tastes. I want sometimes. Different tastes within our potato pumpkin, okay? We should confine to that vegetable world, fruit world. So, you have a set of words, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantihi, arjavam, acharya upasanam, shaucham. In this, certain attitudes, certain commitments to do, certain pursuits, definite pursuits, are pointed out by these words, set of words, revealing the person. for this special knowledge. If you list them one by one, people will run away. You must have amanitvam, you must have adambitvam, you must have ahimsa, you must have kshanti, you must have arjavam, you must have acharya upasanam, you must have stairyam, you must have atmavinigraha, you must have indriyarteshu vairagyam, you must have anahankara, you must have asakti, you must have anambishvangaha putradhara grihalishu, you must have nityam samachittatvam, and you must have Ishvara pranidhanam, and abiding bhakti you must have. Yeah. Then only you can understand Vedanta. This is very discouraging salesmanship. This is not the way to present this. Nobody is going to buy the idea of your Atma. Forget it. If it is Ananda, let it be. Because if to get that Ananda, I have to go through all these contraptions, all these problems. Each one is very difficult. And therefore, the Ananda is somewhere like a treasure for which you have in all these stories. They write, So you have to cross this mountain and afterwards will come a huge lake. In the lake there are so many crocodiles and there is no boat. Only you have to swim and go, and then you have to swim and go. How to swim and go? And then afterwards you will find, and there are waiting there, a cross for you to come. And there are lions, there are tigers, all of them hungry. The wolves, pack of wolves are there. All of them are there. And some of the tribals are behind that. And they are also having bow and arrows and all that. And then you have to cross. Just imagine. You have to cross all these. And then you go inside, you find this. There will be a cave. In the cave you have to go. As you enter, and it's slithering with snakes. The whole cave. And therefore, there you have got treasure. And once you gain that treasure, your health will be, and in the treasure there is the particular fume. You open the box, it comes and makes you a celestial person. Your color changes. The bald head is no more bald head. So everything, and you become, and there is so much treasure there in the box down below. And you have so much strength, you don't have any problem in dealing with all these fellows. Something is very interesting, but how to cross all? You say, Manitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kranti, Arjun. Will I count or not? You read some of the books, maintain the number. They point out the number. They think that they are very thorough. They talk like that also. So I have never counted how many are there. If we are just revealing a person, not even a description. It's not some kind of a color description, form description. We are just revealing who is that person. Why? Because every person has to be that person first, along with the study of Vedanta, because that is how it is done. Along with the study of Vedanta, one has got to cultivate certain attitudes and pursue certain things, have certain commitment to certain way of living, do it. So all these, which include your pursuit of Vedanta also, all these reveal a person, it's not items. Reveal a person. Then you have no threatening, the discouraging ideas here, obstacles and impediments. And they will quote also, Surasya Dhara, you have to walk on the razor's edge. Because it will hurt you. Nobody can get hurt in this any more than what the fellow is now. You will fall from the pinnacle. There is no pinnacle and there is no fall. You have reached the bottom. Any more fall is not possible. This is all fall. Infinite is your, limitlessness is your nature, wholeness is your nature, and you feel small. What else you can do? You can't do any further to go down. Therefore, anything you do, there is no fall. Even a minor fall is not there. But you can grow. If I can grow, I can fall. No, you cannot fall. Already you have reached. There is a certain safety about this. So to feel that I am a human being, limited being, you have reached. You have reached. I am used to it. You have reached. And I don't think I have a hope. You have reached. You have reached. What is to be further, you cannot go. But, and you can become more objective, more giving, more mature. That's what is being talked here. As the qualification for gaining this knowledge being what it is.
Mahaganapatin manasa smarami Mahadeva mudam shirasa namami Mahaganapatin manasa smarami. Bharata Desha Hitaya Kuru Sevam Tum Kuru Sevam Tum Kuru Sevam Tum Kuru Sevam.